If you guys are looking for a great place to stay that's outside of Yellowstone, I highly recommend checking out Henry's Lake State Park. We've actually been staying here for maybe about 10 days now, and we actually leave tomorrow to go boondocking with some friends for a couple days. But this place is amazing. As you can see, there's mountains all the way around. There's a lake over here. They have free kayaks that you can take out if you want. There's lots of trails inside the park, and also they do have great bathroom facilities and full hookups for your RV if you want that. We chose only to do water and electric just to save a little bit of money, and so we've been using the shower houses quite a bit. But today we are not here to talk about that. Instead, we are going to be talking about why we bought our travel trailer, more specifically a Treasure Ship Galleon. It's a 2004, and sorry for getting dark there for a second, and why we chose the model that we did.
Right, yeah, we have our tour video that many of you have seen. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. That's the link, right? That's why I'm pointing.
Yes.
I'm just pointing to the sky. Yeah, check out our tour video. We've done that, and on that video we got a lot of questions as to why we chose this one specifically. Why not a Class A or a Class, what are all the classes? B,
Class C, fifth wheel.
And so today we want to answer some of the questions about why we chose this in particular, and to help you think about
everything you need to consider when looking at the different options. So let's get to it.
So we knew right away we wanted to get something used, not brand new, and do some renovating so that it could be truly ours. I think that was because of me looking at tiny houses so much and getting excited about it. I wanted a look that was really our style and would fit us. So we knew used from the beginning.
Yeah, and we didn't have a huge budget to work with. We wanted to get in and out everything under $20,000 to $25,000. But we really, really wanted an Airstream. Yeah. We started looking at Airstreams, 4 or 5 months before we actually came back to the States and actually started touring different RVs to look at them. But as we looked at them, we kept having to go back in years, looking at something from the 90s, from the 80s, from the early 80s in order to fit it in our budget. Yeah. And in the end, everything that we found would have to be a complete gut job. Yeah. And we really weren't ready to put in that much work.
And we only had 6 months. We had this timeline. We had 6 months, and we didn't think we could do a full gut job in 6 months. Also, they're pretty rare to find, and so it would have been like a big drive out or an extra expense just to bring it back to us. So in the end, we decided to ditch the Airstream idea. Maybe one day, or if something comes along at the right time, we would do that, but we let that dream go. Once the Airstream was out of the plan, we decided that we would go with a travel trailer similar in size. And so we started looking online at different layouts, different options, different lengths, and to get a feel for what was out there. Then, once we were in the US, we started going to RV dealerships and getting inside. And that really helped us to take a look at what there was on the market. Even though we weren't buying brand new, we could still see the layouts. There's so many manufacturers, but a lot of them have very similar setups and floor plans. And so getting inside and sitting in those and feeling those and really understanding the space helped us to make our final decision.
One of the main considerations that we had was for our girls. We have 2 girls, their ages 6 and 9, and we wanted them to have their own space within the trailer. And with that, we looked at RVs or travel trailers with a dedicated bunkhouse with 2 to 4 beds so that they could have their own space. But unfortunately, all of those were ranging from 32 to 34 feet. But actually, we wanted something that was a little bit shorter. We were looking at most models that were 30 feet and under, simply because we wanted to make sure that we weren't limiting ourselves as to how many state parks and national parks we could stay in. Because a lot of the campgrounds there do have limitations as to the size. 30 feet is actually long for a lot of those parks. Having something that was 28 or 26 feet would actually be the ideal situation. But the trailer we ended up with is 30 feet long, and it does have a bunk area in the back for the girls. full bed at the bottom, twin at top, and they do have room to set up their own things. Mariah even has her piano in there, so they do have their own space. It's just not as big as what we originally thought it was going to be.
When it comes to RV bathroom layouts, there are so many options. We ended up with the sink outside, which works out well for washing hands, brushing teeth, and then inside this area is a private area for the toilet and the shower, which works out well. The shower is really small and it is really tight in there. When we've visited other people's RVs, I'm always jealous of the bathrooms. There's just so much room in there and it's so wonderful. I'm a pretty low maintenance girl. I have one tiny makeup bag and not a lot of hair products or extra things. So I'm okay with not having a lot of space and storage space. But if you need a lot of storage space or you just need a bigger bathroom, make sure that you get a layout that has the bathroom that you need.
When it comes to the main space of our trailer, we really have a great wide open area right at the middle. We have the slide that slides out with our couch. Lana's over there reading a book, and our dinette over here, and just opens up the space completely. And then right behind me here, this here is my standing desk, and this is where I get the majority of my work done. And that was one of the main things that we were looking for. I do a lot of video editing and writing work, and I just needed my own dedicated space just to get that done. And having this media center that we transformed into a standing desk was perfect for us. But the girls use the dinette space a lot during the day. Mariah and Lana, this is where they do most of their schoolwork.
Yes.
How does the space work for you?
Well, we keep our schoolwork up and activity books and supplies up there in the cabinets. We use the table for eating, school, and games and stuff. It's nice that there's a big open window that gives us lots of light. Mm-hmm. And then if there's not enough light, we use the
overhead
lights up there.
So it's a good place, and we also eat all of our meals there. And then for the couch, this is where Lana's enjoying a book right now. What book are you reading?
Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride.
Mercy Watson.
She gets in trouble. It's because she's speeding.
But the girls spend a lot of time on the couch. They actually make this double as a play area as well. They get blankets and set them up here and create houses for all of their dolls and for themselves. But this is also our media consumption area, since we turn the monitor from my standing desk into our TV and watch all of our movies and shows and stuff from here. Having a common area in the RV is definitely a must, especially if you have more than one or two people in the RV, since you're going to be sharing the space. And inside these RVs, there's not a whole lot of space. So having a dedicated eating and school area in one place, media and fun area in another, and my work area is perfect for us, just so that we can have each our own space throughout the day. We can all do the things that we need to get done without getting in each other's way.
Any RV that is 30 feet or less is going to be significantly limited on kitchen space and counter space. Typically there's just a little bit on each side of the sink, and that's really it. A few will have maybe something that flips up that extends, which is really helpful. We've thought about adding that in, but so far this is working for us. The longer rigs many times have the island, which is awesome. That would double or triple your prep space. That would be amazing. Others have the covers that go over the sinks. We swapped out our sink for something custom, so we don't have that option, but that would give you more room as well. So when you're looking at the kitchen layouts, think about how you cook and prep and prepare. We could probably use our dinette table more for a prep area, but we actually make this work. I mean, this is teeny. And it works for us, and then we've got this extra space on this side. So for us, it is working just fine. We also came from a really tiny Italian apartment kitchen, so for us it worked out. But if you need more space, make sure you take that into consideration as you're picking out your RV.
So 3 other things that you want to consider when you're buying an RV is your budget, very important,
Yes.
how you're going to travel, and also if you want to buy something that you want to renovate. And really the renovation and the budget kind of go hand in hand. So our travel trailer here we bought used. We spent $6,500 on it, and we knew that we were going to renovate right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And that was one of the deciding factors, as in what we wanted to buy and how much we were willing to spend.
Right. We didn't want to buy something brand new that was a lot of money and then go in and rip things out and paint over everything. That just didn't make sense for us. But if you don't plan to renovate, you can get something really great for a good price and leave it as is. And that just makes the whole process simple. But for us, we knew we wanted to renovate, so spending the extra money just didn't make sense.
Yeah, we did tour a couple newer RVs that Rachel saw. She was like, this is the one.
Yeah.
We're going to buy it brand new and we're going to renovate. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So just make sure, I mean, you can do that if you want,
Yeah,
if it works
do.
within your budget. As you are probably aware, not every RV has a great layout or a great design. They're really not designed for people that are younger. So keep that in mind. You might find something that's perfect for you, that's brand new, that you might want to rip apart and make your own.
Or modify something a little. Like we saw people who had brand new fifth wheels, but they took out the couches or recliners and replaced that with something that was more comfortable for them. So you can make some small modifications or changes and not do a full renovation, but just keep that in with your budget.
Yeah, and then deciding on how you're going to travel when you're living in your RV. For us, I would say we travel at a medium pace. We typically go 4 to 5 hours, stay somewhere for about a week. Sometimes we travel a little bit faster. So a travel trailer works really well for us. It's not too hard to tow with our vehicle, but depending on how fast you want to move, if you're going to be moving a lot faster, you might want to consider something like a Class C or a Class A so that you're not towing a big trailer behind you, and have the vehicle itself is more conducive to travel days. Having a larger area, you can have access to your bathroom, have access to your kitchen,
just
immediately
being able to,
within your vehicle.
Yeah, if you're doing long driving stretches, it might be nicer to have that space to move around in. So,
and then fifth wheels are ideal for anyone who just needs a lot of space, or
they
honestly,
seem to have the most.
Honestly, if you're not looking to travel that far or that much, if you're stationary, fifth wheels are probably the best option out there. They have the most square footage out of any of the options out there. The downside is, of course, they are heavy, they are big, they are bulky. So if you are planning on traveling a lot, that increases your costs on the back end when you're paying for gas everywhere that you're going. So just a couple different things to consider when you're looking at different RVs. For us, we're extremely happy with what we have. We probably looked at a couple thousand used travel trailers online. Even once we decided the layout that we wanted. Before that, I mean, honestly, we spent about 6 months looking before we decided on this one right here.
Yeah, and so, we're happy with what we have. Although sometimes when we see inside other people's, I'll do some RV shopping. We have friends who have a Class C with a bunkhouse in it, and it looks awesome. And I maybe went on like a 2-week window shopping,
online shopping.
Yeah, thought we should make the switch. Come on, let's do it. And that's the thing. People that have been on the road for like a year or so, a lot of times they do make a switch. You just get the feel for how often you're traveling and how long the setup takes, or if the layout isn't really working out, and they make a switch. So if you decide on something right away and it's not the right fit, you can trade it in, you can make a swap. That's kind of the beauty of it. You can change it around. You're not stuck with one forever. If that's the one you set on at first, it's not a forever
It's really not like buying a house. Like, even though it is your house, it's your house and your vehicle sometimes, but it's not like buying a house. It's really easy, swappable. Just go to another RV dealership, pick something up that works better for you.
And it's pretty easy to sell online yourself, or leave your rig with a dealer that will sell for you. So you have options even after you make your first choice. You can change that around if you need to.
So if you have any questions for us about how we chose this RV, if we didn't answer any questions that you had, leave them in the comments below and we'll answer every single one of them like we do on all of our videos. But we have hot dogs on the grill for dinner tonight. We got to get to those before they burn, because they probably will.
I put Mariah in charge. She's supposed to come out and flip them at the 5-minute mark.
But before you finish up this video, the girls have something they want to tell you.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We would love it if you gave it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hope to see you on the road. Goodbye.